This is a review of the LEGO remote-controlled point motor, which is set number 7863. Released in 1980 as a supplemental electric accessory set, the 7863 was meant to be a direct upgrade to 7856. 7856 included 2 manual points, and 7863 included parts to upgrade a single point from 7856 into a remotely operated point. This set continued production until somewhere between 1989 and 1993. One thing of note is that the Service Pack 1239, released in 1985, includes the exact same parts as this set, but it just has a different number, and it's classified as a service pack rather than an actual set. The 7863 is designed as a direct upgrade to the 7856. It has the electric parts needed to convert a manual point from 7856 into an electric point that can be remotely operated, but the important thing to note is that it does not actually include the point base. The parts it includes are a standard point remote, 190 stud long cable, 2 2x8 plates to secure the remote to the transformer, a brick with the point indicator pattern, and then an electric point motor. The point remote is pretty simple. If you plug it into the 12-volt direct current jack on the left side of the transformer, and then you can push either button and current will flow out of the jack on the front. So that is on this side. Of course, the 2 buttons provide opposite polarities of current. The electric point motor is about the same as the manual one, but it doesn't have a plug hole on the front side, so you can plug the cable into it and that can activate it using the electricity from the remote. You can use the electric point motor just like a manual one because it also has magnets inside, but that kind of defeats the purpose of the remote control capabilities. Current into the plug hole will turn the metal disc and therefore flip the point, and again, of course, opposite directions for opposite polarities. I'm fairly sure the motor is activated by electromagnets, but since I haven't opened one up, I can't confirm this. This set does have a few part variants depending on the release here. The cable can either be the early release without a metal pin on its connectors or the later release with the metal pin. So this cable is the later release, it has the later cables with middle pins. The earliest point motors and remotes had a hole for the middle pin but could not fully accept connectors with a middle pin due to the fact that they included early connectors. So I did actually buy parts for this set, and the remote has, I believe, the early cable hole, but the cable is later. So if this one has the middle pin, but you'll see that if I try to plug this in, if I'm pushing this in, and it can't actually go in all the way because the middle hole is not very deep, so it can't accept the middle pin all the way. It will still work, it just won't plug in all the way because this remote was meant for earlier connectors that did not have a middle pin. And the point remote, or the point motor is the later version, so the hole in there is a little bit deeper, and you can see that I can plug the cable all the way in there. Later variants of the remote had a different plug hole on the left side. This is an early version, and you can see it has these metal rings around the point where you would attach another remote on this side, but later releases of these types of electric accessory remotes had a different kind of plug hole, which will still work the same, and you can use early remotes with later remotes, but they just look a little bit different. This set only has one function, and it is to upgrade manual points. So I've taken my left point from 7856 here, and to upgrade your manual points, you're going to want to remove the manual point motor and attach the electric point motor the same way you would attach a manual one. So this is the manual point motor from 7856. Again, a quick comparison. The one on the right is the electric point motor from 7863. You can see the only external difference is that the one on the right, the electric one, has that cable connection hole. And again, you're just going to want to be careful about putting it the right way. And so if I have the derailleur lever switch to the through position, you're going to want to also make sure that the axle is going to line up, the hole is going to line up with that lever once you attach the motor, and then put the point indicator brick on the same way that I explained in the 7856 review. And then you just put it on the exact same way, and it looks like the exact same. You can use it like a manual point, but we're going to use it as an electric point. So I've connected my 12-volt transformer up to the wall here, and so you're going to want to have your cable ready, and then this is the remote here. So you're going to want to secure that just like you would with any other remote, but I don't think I've actually done a tutorial about how to do that, so I'll just do a quick one now. I mean, it's very simple. You just plug these in, and then these 2 plates that are included, you're going to want to use those with the 2x4 plates that you get with the transformer set. I took these off of the transformer already. These are going to go on the ends, they go on the top and bottom, and then these plates, they attach on the top and bottom like this, and the reason for that is then you can't pull the remote out because these plates are preventing it from moving. So my transformer's on, and I'm going to connect this wire here, one end into the remote, the other into the point motor, and then hopefully this will work. Okay, so that brings me to my next section, which is about troubleshooting. So the point obviously is working because I can press the buttons and you can see the motor will activate, but it's flipping the wrong way. So what should happen is I press this left button with the rectangle, and what should happen is this will flip to the through pattern, the through position, because again, this point indicator brick, when it's in the through position, you want it to have the narrow side showing. But I press this button and it goes to the diverging position. If I press the other button, it will go to the through position. So that means that the cable current is flipped. And how you change that is very simple. You just take this plug, flip it around, plug it back in, and now it should be working correctly. So I press this brick. If I press this side of the remote, then it will flip to the diverging position. If I press this button on the remote, it will flip to the through position, and now it's just working correctly. If the motor makes a loud buzzing noise when a button is held down, that's perfectly fine. So you can see here, if I press this button, it will just flip. But if I hold down the diverging button, you hear that noise? That's actually fine. What it just means is that the motor is just very slightly out of alignment on the point base. So maybe if I push it down a little bit more, it'll stop making that noise, maybe not. Yeah, so it stopped making that noise. And the reason for that noise is that it's just, it's slightly out of alignment, and the buzzing is just plastic on plastic as the electromotor is trying to activate. You can put this anywhere in a layout as long as the wire will reach, otherwise you may have to use a second wire to extend it a little bit. You'll need one 7863 for every manual point you want to upgrade, and a 7856 with two 7863 yields a left and a right electric point, which is basically the same as a 7858 and a 7859. Although you could probably find other uses for the point motors included in this set, almost everyone who buys the set is looking to upgrade their manual points. I already went over the function of points in a layout during my 7856 review, so you can check that out with the video in the banner. The original box for the set, like other supplemental sets, included a cardboard outer box with a styrofoam inner tray. I'm not sure if the box got a redesign in 1989. I know that 7856, 7858, and 7859 they definitely got a redesign in 1989 with a cardboard inner tray and a larger outer box, and it had different art, but I've never seen pictures of a 7863 redesigned box from 1989. Instructions may have been the same as the ones included in 7858 and 7859, general supplemental set instructions for early releases, and then point-specific instructions once they came out in 1981 or so. Of course, these sets never came with sticker sheets, seeing as there were no stickers. 7863 has a pretty consistent price tag of about $35 for a set in good used condition. The box isn't that rare, so it doesn't affect the price significantly. Sealed copies of this set sell for around $100. Like 7856, I didn't actually buy a copy of this set. Instead, I just bought the parts for it. Well, almost all the parts. In terms of total point sets, I purchased two each of 7858 and 7859, and parts to build 7856. Then I bought the cable, plates, remote, and motor for one copy of 7863, but not the point indicator brick because none of the sellers that I was buying from none of them had the brick in their shop. Since you can use the same point indicator brick from 7856, this still allows me to construct 5 automatic points and 1 manual point, because I have 6 of the point indicator bricks, so this one was just stolen from my copy of 7856. I think I paid around $30 for the motor, remote, and cable. Of course, the plates are basically worth nothing, and the point indicator brick is worth less than $1. This set is only meant to upgrade 7856, so its function is limited but critical. If you own 7856 and want to upgrade your points to electric, which I highly recommend, then you should definitely purchase 1 or 2 of these sets. However, if you have no points and want to get right to the electric ones, just get a 7858 and 7859 because it's slightly more cost effective. Overall, this set, once used to upgrade 7856, allows you to experience the full remote controlled capabilities of the 12-volt system. That concludes my review of the 7863. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful or interesting, make sure to subscribe for more content about LEGO 12-volt trains. I'll see you in my next video.